I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will move into our consensus agenda.
So I move we approve the vouchers from 6:30 and 7:10. They total $1,357,758.49. Payrolls from 6:09 and 6:23. They total $520,868.02. For grand total expenditures this month of $1,878,626.51. And just make note that we had a bond payment in that of considerable amount of money. So that's why that number is a little bit higher. Also move that we approve the notes from our last meeting.
Moved by Steve, second by Kevin, who's visiting us via Zoom remotely. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 4-0. On to personnel.
All right, I recommend the resignation of Susan Dietzel as a high school English teacher. 32 years of service to Triton School Corporation, so I just want to thank her for her years and her time and efforts, not only an English teacher, but did a lot of the plays and drama deal, and just want to thank her for her service.
Susan's resignation.
I'll second that with regrets.
Moved by Ken, seconded by Steve. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
I'd also like to resignation.
I move we approve that resignation.
Been moved by Steve, second by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
I recommend the approval of the resignation of Holly Sellers as an elementary instructional assistant.
I move we approve that resignation.
Second.
It's been moved by Ken, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
I recommend the approval of Lindsay Klotz as a substitute teacher.
So moved.
I have a question. Who is Lindsay? I have an idea.
Yeah, so that is Ryan Klotz,
That's
actually
who I
my
thought.
brother-in-law's wife. Yes.
It's Ryan Klotz's what?
Wife.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Lindsay Sneed.
Yes.
You may have known
That's
her as that
Yep.
before marriage.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Okay. I will second it.
Okay, it's been moved by Steve, seconded by Ken. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
And finally, in personnel, I'd like to recommend the independent contract agreement with Rochelle Maybe to provide psychological evaluation services for the corporation. I think this is year 3 that we've had her in our corporation, so we'd like to continue that this year.
Second.
Been moved by Kevin, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. All right, on to other business.
I'd like to recommend the approval of the 2023-24 elementary textbook rental fees. Just to clarify, there's a lot of confusion out there in the state. This is just to make sure that we know what our textbook rental fees are. So as soon as we gather more information as far as what we will charge parents, or if we will charge parents at all, that is yet to be 100% determined and what that exactly looks like, but we are just simply asking for approval to know what those rental fees are at this time.
I move we approve this, the textbook rental fees as presented.
Second.
Been moved by Ken, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
Guidance, Tom,
DOE
further guidance.
Finance workshop that was late June indicated essentially we're not gonna be able to charge for anything. Anything that we currently charge for, we can't, so. All the fees that are gonna be legal are extracurricular in nature, stuff, non-educational fees, which everything that we do, lab fees and that kind of stuff, are gonna be on hold.
Yeah, which does pose a problem. I think for everybody to understand, it does pose an issue when it comes to it is actually going to, even though the unintended consequence of saving families money and paying for textbook is actually gonna cause the corporation to pay more out of the education fund, right? So I think the smoke and mirrors of that a little bit looks really good, and our parents will be very, very happy, and that's great. I personally paid close to $1,000 in textbook fees last year, so that's a great win for our home. But in the end, the corporation-wise will eat
Pick
a
it up.
significant portion of those items that we can't necessarily get reimbursed for. So I think there will be more to come out on that, but in the end, it's hard to go back to, especially with some of the words that were like hidden tax were used and some of those things. I think we were only one of 7 states that didn't already pay for those textbooks. So it's a long time coming. It's just, I don't know that we got it right the first time for the corporation's sake, but we'll continue to work through that.
So there's no additional money at this time coming from the state?
There's additional money, it's just not gonna cover it.
Not gonna
Oh,
cover
okay.
all.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
They calculated out if what was in place last year, about I think it was $162 a kid, which some of our TBRs at the high school with electives and stuff was
Close to,
250, 300.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
maybe only 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah, elementary, it should cover
Pretty
most
much
of the
gonna cover
elementary fees.
Yeah.
What it's really gonna hurt is, rewind a long time ago, you had textbook fees, and you taught out of the textbook, well then, you know, especially science, and they wanted to offer labs, well, the school couldn't afford it, and so they started initiating these fees, you know, which was good for the kid, good for education, and so we can get extra money by charging these fees, which betters our education than what we were providing. Well, now they took away that revenue stream, so.
You also think about the textbooks being non-traditional textbooks like computers, right? So we haven't replaced our full curriculum with computers, but in the end, that's been a supplement to our curriculum. And so that does create some, once again, a lack of revenue to go towards those computers to minimize the cost to our kids. We will be taking on more of that cost. So
All right.
we'll figure it out. But did we already do all that? Okay, all right. Next, I'd like to recommend the first reading of the Corporation Policy, Volume 35, Number 1. You see it says September 2022. We got lost in the shuffle. Somehow we approved all the other items that we had talked with Ryan Snoddy about, and that one, either we didn't make the checks or the corrections, but we just wanted to make sure that got in there, so.
Okay.
Move we approve that.
Second.
It's been moved by Steve, seconded by Ken. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
The next two can kind of go together. These are yearly adoptions. Re-adopt the policy 6250, which is required ADM counts for the purpose of state funding and verification of residency for membership. And re-adopt the policy 322001, which is the teacher appreciation grant.
I move we approve those.
It's been moved by Steve, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
If you recall, last month there was still a little bit of conversation going on about the music department student handbook. That has been read over. I believe Wes was the individual that was on that committee. And so that has been fine-tuned, updated, and I recommend that we approve that.
Move we approve the 2023-2024 Music Department Handbook.
Second.
It's been moved by Ken, seconded by Steve. Any discussion?
Is this a new handbook?
No,
Oh, no.
it's been around.
We've had it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was some serious updates to it, so we haven't brought it to the board
In a while.
So there were definitely some things that need to be updated, but Mr. McCann definitely wanted to get some of those things out there and or shared with our kids and parents.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
Last but not least, this item I've added here as another business, but permission to sell excess items in our storage areas. We have a lot of tables, chairs. We are getting new tables and some new desks at the elementary school. And so a lot of these items that we always want to kind of have some back just in case we're getting excess now. So we'll put those out there, make sure we're following policy as far as how we go about selling those. But I just wanted to get the permission of the board to do that.
So moved.
Second.
I heard Ken first. It was moved by Steve, seconded by Ken. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. On to superintendent report.
All right, continuous improvement, safety updates are being made at the elementary school and high school office and entrances. High school renovation will provide more efficiency in the office area. I have some pictures that I have not posted yet, but I'll get those out there today. That is now painted, that whole area. We met with Barry and Brian and Steve today just to kind of go over the list of things that need to be done, and they're being well taken care of. So I'm excited for all those. Elementary cafeteria flooring has been completed. Looks great. There are a couple things that I will meet with Cody about, actually possibly tomorrow morning, just to get those fixed. Just a couple areas that either were missed or need touched up, but other than that, it looks great. And the Performing Arts Center is sounding amazing, and it will be looking better really, really soon when Indiana Stage and Lights comes in at the, I guess, Wednesday of this week. Shared leadership, our maintenance crew are working really, really hard to clean classrooms and polish floors. They're an integral part of preparing our buildings for the students, and they're doing a great job. Social responsibility, I ran into 2 Triton students who were working at Lake City Bank on Friday, and their supervisor had great things to say about them, and because of their hard work and dedication, they said they would love to continue to hire Triton graduates. So thank you to Megan Young and Brooklyn Wilhite for representing your school and community well. Accountability, Triton's soon to be senior Miss Cheyenne Hawley was crowned Miss Blueberry 2023. Also representing Triton were Addison Veers, Anna McIntyre, and Olivia Shively. So great representation there, and a Triton student walked away with the crown, so that's awesome. High expectations, Triton FFA had a great time at the state FFA convention. This was the middle of last month, but after our board meeting, so I wanted to bring that back up. Congratulations goes to Samantha Midall, District 2 parliamentarian, Cheyenne Hawley, Section 1 director, and District 2 vice president. Cheyenne Hawley earned her Hoosier degree. Colton Large and Brooke Kitch placed 4th with their plant and soil demonstration, so great job. Since we met last time, the JV boys won their division at Super Hoops on June 19th. Alignment, thank you to the Lemler and the Jennings family for running a very successful breeze run on Saturday. Despite the early rain, they had a great turnout for a great cause. Evidence-based decision-making, I just want to remind people that are looking for a great school, as we think about making decisions after careful consideration of most compelling research, I think Triton School Corporation is a great option for students and their education. July 26th and 27th is our registration. On July 26th, it's from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then on July 27th, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at both buildings, and that is in person. So I believe that is all that I have for that section. I'll be more than happy to take any questions.
Seeing there's no patrons in our audience, we'll move on to building report.
All right, I've asked the building level leaders to stay home and enjoy July, so I'm going to go ahead and report out on this. So from Mr. McCann, we have awesome office renovations are underway with the walls painted, counselor's office complete, and floor tile removed. We're waiting for the new floor tile to be installed and some of the office furniture to be delivered. Custom desks and cabinets will be installed during fall break. The auditorium project is underway, and new lights and sound equipment are being installed along with updates with our light and sound boards. Summer school ends for the high school on Sunday, July 16th. The office is trying to monitor student progress and reach out to families when students fall behind. English language arts teacher, there are currently conversations taking place to fill the open English language arts position. We are hopeful that we have found a teacher that can continue offering the dual credit options for students in the subject area of English. Registration, I just announced that, takes place July 26th and 27th. It will look differently just because of the construction that's going on in the front office. So families can enter door 1 and report to the library. Families are also asked to provide social security numbers this year, as this will be needed for students wishing to participate in CTE programs being offered in high school. And the reason for that is not so we can take people's information, but it is to follow that student that is taking a CTE course and what they want. Essentially, the state wants to be able to say, did that individual go into something similar as they went into their career? Social Security number is a way to figure out that information. So we will be asking for that. That is a prerequisite for the state for anybody taking a CTE course this year. From the elementary, from Mrs. Cook, summer school concluded on June 23rd. 26 students, over 1/3 of the attendees received perfect attendance awards. Thanks to summer school teachers and staff, parents, and students for extending their school year. All students who retook the iRead passed, so that brought our rate up to 93% pass, so that's outstanding. Class lists are confirmed but not public until registration. We still need to hire 1 instructional assistant and a first grade teacher, which we just announced that resignation, and we're well on our way to finding that individual. We'll be gearing up for registration July 26th and 27th. The Marshall County Health Department will have the mobile unit available from 2 to 6 p.m. on the 27th for walk-in vaccinations for those individuals that need those for that specific grade level. We will be collecting social security numbers of students at registration, so we're asking parents to be prepared to provide them. We will host students and parents in the back to school open house on August 7th from 5 to 6 and drop off school supplies, visit your classroom, during that open house. You can drop off school supplies, visit your school, your classroom, and see your new cafeteria floor and sample some lunch items and some breakfast items. So Mrs. Lumler is gonna have some nice little treats in the cafeteria to show off the floor and just have our kids have a little snack before they go to their classroom, make that a really safe space. So those are the building level reports.
Where are we at with doors?
Oh,
That's a great
yeah.
question. If there's anything that is a little concerning right now, that's probably the one. Central Indiana Hardware reported out, especially door 4, will be coming in July 27th. My understanding, based on our conversation today, is once they get the door, there's approximately 5 to 7 days worth of work to prepare that and make sure that it fits and all of that. So our current entrances right now, are okay. We're probably gonna have to steer people away from door 4 right now, which will probably be door 1 and door 9, as we drop off bus-wise, for the high school. But yeah, that's definitely the one item on the list that is taking a little bit longer to get in than the others. So the furniture in the offices is another one of those items that we keep asking about because it's custom. It just takes a little bit longer.
Some of the desks are custom fit, custom made. They didn't think they would be here till mid-August.
Oh.
Which is fine. We kept the old ones, I think. We can use that. And we said we just install them over fall break. The shelf items, the desks and that kind of stuff, the other things were supposed to be here 3rd week of July. Depending on if they're on time or early, we'll get those in. If not, we still have everything that was in there before, and we'll just take it on in fall break.
So there is going to be a little bit of overflow into fall break, but carpet's going to be going into the high school office. That we thought that was going to be maybe delayed a little bit, but that'll all be done. So it'll just be a matter of furniture being put in. So good question.
Move to adjourn at 7:20.